Namaskar. Very warm welcome to all our viewers and learners in this very special session of CIT NCERT named webinar. I am Renu Bhatt with you all, and you are watching us live on eVidya channels from channel number 6 to 12, and apart from all those channels, you are with us on our YouTube channel as well, that is NCERT Official. Dear learner, as you know, this is our 5 days online training, and today is the third day of our training session. And as a part of Jan Bhagidari event, CIT NCERT conducting online activities. With this in view, CIT NCERT is organizing a 5-hour online training on emerging trends in educational technology from 12th of June till 16th of June 2023 from 4 to 5 p.m. and to leverage the understanding of teachers, students, teacher educators, administrators and other stakeholders of school education on emerging trends on educational technology for teaching, learning and assessment. And the topic that we are going to discuss today in this special webinar is quite interesting. The topic is social media for education, and we all know and need not to emphasize on the popularity of social media these days. Every second person is busy with their smart gadget, so they are exploring new things on daily basis. So how we can use social media in education and for education, we will let us know by our experts. So without any further delay, let's quickly meet them. You are Professor Anubhuti Yadav. You are Head Department of New Media and Technology from Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Delhi. Very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we have our another expert with us. Let's meet him too. You are Professor Gaurav Singh. You are from Central University of Haryana, Mahandargarh. Very warm welcome, sir. Swagat hai aapka. And before we start this particular webinar, let me share some certain information to all our viewers and students out there, so that in case they have any query and question, they can reach out to us. You can call us on our telephone number, that is 8800 440 559. Either you can drop a mail at our email address, that is training.helpdesk@cit.nic.in. and if you have joined us through our live streaming, that means you are on our YouTube channel, that is NCERT Official. You have to go to the live chat box and then only you can comment out there. And before I start this session, let me share a very important piece of information regarding India's G20 presidency. We are indeed very proud that India assumed G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. A nation that deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India's G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in her history as it seeks to play an important role by finding pragmatic global solutions for the well-being of all. And in doing so, manifests the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or we can say the whole world is one family. With that very important piece of information, let's quickly get back to the session in which we are going to discuss about the social media for education. So, ma'am, what you have for all our learners out there, ma'am?
Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking about role of social media in education. As a teachers, usually we feel that social media is a nuisance because the kind of work which students often do on social media. But there's lot can be done on social media. Social media can be used as a very important tool for education. So this is what we are going to talk about. We'll talk about how to use social media in education. So as far as my presentation is concerned, we'll be talking about why social media is required in the field of education. We'll also talk about what is social media and what it is not. Most of the time it happens when we talk about social media, we only focus on social networking platforms and we consider that as social media, but there is much more to it than just being there on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Then we'll also talk about power of social media, and we'll discuss that with certain case studies, why social media and how social media is a very powerful tool. And then we'll be talking about social media strategies. So for example, as a teacher, if you adopt social media, then what would be your strategy to use it? And then of course, we'll be talking about certain tools which can help you in creating content for social media. So these are few things which we'll be talking about in another, a few minutes which I have with you. So there's this one thing which is extremely important, and that is something which we need to understand, is that nowadays there's a fundamental shift which is happening in the way we are finding information, the way we are making decisions, the way we are engaging with people, and the way we are making ourselves heard. So a lot of changes have taken place, journal people who are consuming content, and for us also as the teachers, because of the new technologies. So when we talk about these changes, we are all living in micro movements nowadays. And what are these micro movements? These micro movements are the movements wherein we reflexively turn towards our smartphone to get information on anything which we would like to have. For example, if you are preparing for any lecture, so the first thing which you do is you turn towards your smartphone and try and find out information related to that particular issue or that particular topic. So we are living in those micro movements, and that makes smartphones and that makes social media extremely important nowadays. So what are those movements? There are movements like I want to know movements for teachers. Say for example, if you are preparing something for on national education policy, or you want to know about national education policy, so the first thing which you do is you type that search query either on Google or on social media, and you try and find out about national education policy. Then there are movements like I want to do movements. Now these are the movements wherein you do certain things. For example, if you are preparing a lecture on national education policy, then what are those I want to do movements? You create content, and for this also you depend upon Google, or you depend upon maybe like social media to get that particular information. And then of course, I want to prepare movements for teachers. For example, even as a teacher, you would like to prepare for certain entrance exams. So you might like to get into higher education, so you would like to prepare for maybe UGC, exam, NET exam. So in that case also, you turn towards your smartphone to get that particular information. So these are all, micro movements wherein we are trying to turn towards smartphones, on social media, on Google to get information on this. People are also searching, when they are curious. Say for example, nowadays CUT exams are going on, the results will be out very soon. So as you can see in the slide, there's always a spike, when people are interested in one particular issue, and they are searching this particular thing on internet, they are searching it on maybe like different social media platforms. These are the kind of questions which people are asking. So we as a teachers will get a lot of insights if we know tools like this. For example, if we want to know maybe like what people are searching about CUT, or what people are searching about national education policy, then in our training programs or in our lectures we can make use of that. So this is the tool which I have used to create an infographic on what people are asking about national education policy on Google. Say for example, if someone is interested to find out about NTPC, so what are the questions people are asking about it? What are their queries? If someone is trying to ask about Indian Army, what are the questions they are asking? And we need to understand these questions, and we need to answer those queries. So as a teacher, our first role is we need to find out what are the requirements, what are the needs of our students, and then we need to respond to those particular questions. And with the new technologies nowadays, it's easy to find out what people are asking about, say for example NCERT or CBSE or CUT or national education policy. So the infographics which you had just seen about what people are asking about Indian Army or maybe like about national education policy, there are two tools which I used to get that particular information, and whenever you get time you can try those tools. So the first one is Google Trends, which tells you how people are searching, and it also tells you that whenever there is an interest in one particular area, you will always see a spike. So for example, right now if you use the term CUT, so there will be a spike for that particular term, because that is something which is happening right now. Another tool which I had used is Answer the Public, and it gives you, all the kind of questions which people are asking about any issues, so that you can create, useful content. So these are some of the digital tools. Now, coming on to what exactly is social media, as I said in the beginning, usually we say that, okay, social media means Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. So is it really, those platforms, or is it, social networking, or is it social bookmarking or wikis? I mean, that is something which we need to understand if we really want to use it in the field of education. So social media, if we go by definition, it's an online platform that doesn't just give you an information, but interacts with you while giving you that information. And this interaction can be as simple as asking for comments, letting you vote on an article. Social media is a two-way communication. So this is something which, is social media. And the most important thing is that it's interactive in nature, and, if any platform, say for example you go to any website wherein you can write comment on something, that also falls into a category of social media. So social media includes one, social bookmarking. I don't know how many of you have heard this particular term, but this is something which is very, very common and liked by a lot of young people. I mean, especially maybe your students. Then you have social news. Then you have social networking, and then we have social photo and video sharing and wikis. So, as I said before, any website that invites you to interact with the site and with other visitors falls into a definition of social media. Now let's talk about what social bookmarking is. Now social bookmarking, it's a service, it's a centralized online service which enables user to add, annotate, edit and share bookmarks of web documents. In easy words, it's just like bookmarking. When you are reading a book, you always bookmark, you always keep something whenever you leave one particular page, so the next time when you come you can start with that particular page. Same thing happens on internet, because we are reading a lot of stuff. Many a times we do not have time to read the entire article, so in that case we need to save that article, and so that next time we can go to that particular article and it is not lost. So Delicious was one platform which came in 2003, and that actually popularized this whole concept of social bookmarking. Now, what is social in this bookmarking is that when you are bookmarking, when you are saving a one particular link, in that case, you can also give tags to that. If someone is searching for example, national education policy, or maybe you can give it a tag on education policy. So you can give tag, people can give tag, and they can search with that search query. And when they are searching with that search query, they'll come on to that particular article. So this is what broadly social bookmarking is. And I'll just show you very quickly how the site of any social bookmarking website looks like. So this is like how it looks like. When you go to my links, these are the links which I have bookmarked, and then you can add links here. This is your network. It's like any social media platform, but in this case what you are doing is you are actually playing with the links of number of articles. You can also discover based on your interest area. You can also see what exactly is trending, which means what kind of content people are reading. And then you can also add your link there, and so that next time when you go and open your dashboard, those links are lying there and you can read that. Another social bookmarking tool is StumbleUpon. You have another tool which is Pinterest. So there are a lot of social bookmarking tools which are available, and which teachers most importantly should be using, because we keep on reading a lot of stuff on internet, and we would like to use that content when we are preparing our own teaching material. Another social media platform or the way people engage with other is social news. So these are some of the examples of social news, which means when we talk about social news, you are interacting by voting for articles and commenting on them. So there are certain news platforms also wherein you can comment, you can vote, and based on the vote, you know that this particular article or this particular content is very popular, so that you can read that thing. In this case, what you're doing is you are actually relying on the intelligence of collective. A lot of people have said that it's a good article, so you end up reading that particular article. So there's a platform like Dig, there is something called Reddit, which you might have seen, and there's a lot of conversation going on in these particular platforms. Then comes your social networking, which, as I said before, which we consider as social media. Now these are like the networking tools which are used for interacting with friends, commenting on profiles, joining groups, discussions. So this is something which is happening on social networking platforms. Now these are some popular social media platforms. For example, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, Messenger, WeChat, and this is what people in India and across the world are using mainly for making friends and interacting with them. But this can also be used for education, and at the time of the pandemic, you all as teachers have used it very efficiently, and especially like WhatsApp or Facebook. Now, if you look at the platforms, online platforms, top 10 platforms, these are top 10 platforms, and if you could see these 10 platforms, out of this only 3 are search engines, and rest of them, they are all social media platforms. So this is the kind of popularity of social media. Now, what makes social media powerful? The first, it allows you to create human networks. You can have a lot of teachers working on one particular issue. You can create that network with your students also. That's how it it is very powerful, because it creates community. Second is that it's interactive in nature. So you can expect interactive way of communication with these particular platforms, and which is totally different from the broadcast. When the broadcast means like there's this one person speaking and others listening. Here what happens is that everyone is interacting with each other. So there is no like top down approach of communication. So it's always happening from the different directions. And then another strength which it has is multimedia, which means if you are there on social media, you take Facebook or Twitter, you can create any sort of content. You can upload any sort of content. It could be text format, it could be video, it could be interactive stories, it could be text based, it could be just visuals, it could be graphics. So it is a multimedia platform. It allows you to do that, and that's the biggest strength of social media. Now, looking at the characteristics, one, connectedness, people are connected with each other. Collaboration, which means like you can do collaborative work with your peer teachers and also with your students, and you can also involve them in certain collaborative projects. And then it can also create community. For example, if your research area lies maybe like in exploring new technologies, you can create a lot of communities which are already there on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. So these are some of the trends which are happening in social media. Video is something which is very popular. Social commerce, augmented reality is catching up fast when we talk about social media. Influencer marketing, which means the people who are holding influential positions, or like those who have a lot of knowledge over something. For example, you as teachers can create a lot of stuff and people will follow them. Customer service and social audios. So nowadays there are 3 things which are doing extremely well, and whatever content we create as a teachers has to revolve around that. One, it's video. People and students like to watch. Second, voice, which means a lot of audio content should be there. And third, vernacular, which means we have to create content in the language of the people. So a lot of content in vernacular languages. Now, when you are a teacher, I mean, you cannot be there on all the platforms. So you need to find out, what are those platforms and what you should be doing. So you need to have a social media strategy for yourself. First, you need to set social media goals that aligns to your objective. What are you trying to do? Creating awareness about yourself as a teacher for personal branding, or maybe creating videos for your subject. So you need to be very, very clear about your objectives. Learn everything you can about your audience. Where are your students? Are they there on Instagram or Snapchat or LinkedIn? So you need to know about that. Research the competition. Maybe look at the teachers across the world. How are they using social media platform? Conduct social media audit. How the content is being created for social media platforms, and then setting up accounts. Depending upon where your target audiences are. Try and find inspiration. Look at best of the content which has been created on social media by different teachers across the world, or the teachers who've got some national awards and all. Create social media calendar for the entire month or a year. I mean, you don't have to create content every day. Depending upon what you're teaching your students, you can create a social media calendar. And then you can test, evaluate, and adjust your strategy according to how it is actually working. Now, creating content for social media, there are a number of tools. As I said, we need to work with the graphics, we need to work with images, we need to work with maybe like small little videos, explainer videos. So we need to be aware of, what are the different tools which are available so that, good content can be created for social media. Nowadays, students are looking at GIFs. That's the medium for students. The content which is educational in nature, but at the same time it's little entertaining, and the tone of the presentation in that case becomes very light, so that you can engage with your target audiences. So there are tools like Giphy, there are tools like Video, which you can use to prepare GIFs on whatever topic you are actually teaching your students. Then you can create animation also. There's a tool called Powtoon, eVidya, Animaker, Movely. These are the tools which help you in creating animation. eVidya is one tool which is based on artificial intelligence, which means if you have a chapter or if you have a script, you just paste the entire script and automatically it will convert the entire script into a video. It will also retrieve, the images or video footages related to one particular keyword that has been used in the script. And all these tools are very easy to use. They have their own tutorials there, and you can use these tools, whenever you feel like, and whenever you feel like creating content in a different way. Then you have whiteboard animation, Video Scribe, Animaker, Explaindio, Mango Animate. These are the tools which are used for whiteboard animation. And why do we use whiteboard animation? The reason is that many a times, you cannot do, proper animation, or maybe like you cannot go out and shoot something, and you are telling the entire story, maybe like, in certain graphics or maybe through a certain sketch. So, and it's a very effective tool for communication and for education. Screen recording is something which we have been using at the time of the pandemic, and then there are tools like Screencast-O-Matic, you have Screencastify, you can use OBS, which is open source, you can use Bandicam, you can use Filmora. So some of them, they are open source, some of them they work on a freemium model, which means you have some features which are freely available, but for certain features you might have to pay. For images, you can create infographics. The best tool, which I like to create infographic is Infogram. Then you have Canva, you have Adobe Express. Then data visualization. Many a times, you have lot of data, and if you have to visualize that particular data, for that you have tools like Lucidchart. Then you have Google tools, which is Flourish. I'll just show you that. Infogram is another tool which is used for creating infographics. This is the dashboard. You get number of templates there, and you can use it, the template that suits your content. You have Pick2Chart, another tool which is available. Many Eyes is another tool that can be used. Chartsbin is another tool that can be used to create content, and then Flourish is something which is used by a lot of media organizations across the world, and that's a Google tool, but it will help you in making a lot of visualization if you have data which is related to places, time, whatever it is, and it gives you hundreds of templates of presenting that particular thing. Then you have Data Wrapper, then you have Story Map. For example, if you have a story or a script, or if you're teaching something and it has a mention of number of places, so instead of telling and giving your students in a form of maybe like 10 different places, you can create a story map out of it. And then of course timeline, that's a timeline which is by, so that is by Night Labs, and this is something which can be used when you want to depict something in a chronological way. So these are the tools through using which you can create content for social media. So this is what we have done, what exactly social media is, what are the different formats of social media, and how you can create content for social media. So it's not limited just to social networking. You can do a lot using different types of social media platforms.
Exactly. I mean, all our viewers and especially teachers and students, they can explore social media for their benefit, and especially they can do a lot of productive thing out there. So thank you so very much, ma'am, for your detailed information. And let's move towards our next guest, Gaurav sir. Sir, please. Hello. Hello. Gaurav sir, are we audible to you?
Yeah, you are very much audible.
Yes, sir. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I think Professor Anubhuti has set the ball rolling, and she has explained very well that how social media can be used, what social media is. So her explanation actually made my work quite easy. So thank you, Professor Anubhuti, for sharing your views, and let me continue from there. As she has already told you that social media is basically a technology which we use for sharing of the ideas, thoughts, information through the virtual networks and communities. Social media is what? Social media is basically bringing people together with the help of internet or the online communities. If you see the various forms of social media, very popular are messaging apps. She has already told you, like WhatsApp is there, Telegram is there, Signal is there. Then there are social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. There are certain photo sharing sites like Instagram, Pinterest. Then there are certain video sharing sites like YouTube, Vimeo, TikTok, Insta Reel is very popular, and Facebook Live. There are some blogging or community buildings like Tumblr, Reddit. Then social audio platforms like Clubhouse, Twitter Space, and Spotify. So if there are a lot of social media platforms available, as a teacher, we need to understand that which platform we want to use for what purpose. Every platform has its pros and cons. If you want to share some content with your learners, you may go for the option where you can share the photos or you can share the videos. If you want to bring all the learners into a group and want to discuss with them, you can go for social audio platforms like Clubhouse or Twitter Space. If you just want to communicate them that what is going to happen next, then you can use the messaging apps. So there are many social media. But when we choose a particular social media for educational purpose, we need to think that what is the purpose, for what purpose we need to use the social media. Purpose is most important, whether we want to share the information or the content or the interactivity. The second thing is there are two types. Generally social media or communication media, so you can interact with each other. But some social media provide you one-way communication and some social media provide you two-way communication. So what kind of communication we want? We want one-to-one connectivity with the learner, or we want the connectivity of the teacher with the whole group, or group connectivity. Then whether we want the synchronous system or asynchronous system. There are certain social media when you are live, you are with the learners. Like at present, we are live on YouTube. So YouTube is being used for both the purposes, synchronous as well as asynchronous. Like at present, you are commenting in the comment box whatever we are sharing with you, so we are interacting with each other in a synchronous way. But even after this session will be available on the YouTube NCERT official channel. So there even you can put the comment, you can see the what we have discussed. So that is the asynchronous mode. Another option is now in social media is disappearing content or long-term availability, like this Telegram as well as WhatsApp. They provide you the option that up to what duration the content should be available in a group or even in the one-to-one chat. So that is also the option that whether you want to keep the content for longer duration or you just want to use it and then remove it from the system. So for all these purposes, what are we using? We are using basically the messaging apps. Messaging apps have 4 major functions. One, we use it for instant messaging, means instant connectivity with our learners. Second, we can do the group discussion sort of thing with each other if we create the groups, whether it is WhatsApp or it is Telegram or it is Signal or any other messaging app. Sharing the content, you can share a lot of content through WhatsApp. Sometimes some content you cannot share even with the messenger, like a PDF file cannot be shared with the messenger, but a PDF file can easily be shared with the WhatsApp. So you can share the content with the learners quickly, and WhatsApp helps a lot in developing the professional networks. A lot of professional associations are there, like if you are a mathematics teacher, you can be the part of a network or a group of mathematics teachers around the globe, not only within the country. So messaging apps also helps in developing the networks. It is very important tool for the teachers. Facebook basically gives you 3 options. One is your profile, another is Facebook group, and third one is Facebook page. Again, we need to think that for what purpose we want to use Facebook. Generally, Facebook profile is an asynchronous tool where we disseminate the information with the public. But in group, it could be group as closed group as well as open group. So if you want to create a group for your 50 or 60 or 30 learners only, you can create so that others cannot come into that group, they cannot see what you have shared and what discussion is going on. So you can have a lot of controls in the groups. Generally in classroom teaching learning, we prefer making the groups of the students on Facebook and then they interact with each other. Facebook page is more or less one-way communication. Though people can comment on your page, but they cannot post anything on your page because you have more control. So for example, if you are having the live sessions like Facebook Live, so you can prefer, though you can do Facebook Live from profile, you can do Facebook Live from group, and you can do Facebook Live from page. But for content hosting, Facebook page is one of the best options. You can create a subject page, you can create an institutional page, you can create a teacher's page, and you can share whatever you want to share. Page has more reach than groups because in groups you need to add the people. But in page, generally it is a public. So anyone who has the link of the page can view what is happening on the page. So that is also a good option. Like here, this is one of the example of my own Facebook page, where whatever Facebook Live I have done with different experts in the country, all are still available, though those I have done at least 2 years back. A new emerging social media is audio social media. Social media, generally people think that YouTube is social media, WhatsApp is social media, but during the pandemic we have seen a lot of use of audio social media. Clubhouse is one of the most popular tools in social media, where people can chit chat with each other, can talk to each other, can come together, can discuss anything, and this can be in a closed group as well as the public group. Both options are there. So audio social media is emerging, a very good tool for group discussions, for brainstorming, for discussion with the other experts across the country. So even for the networking, this is also emerging as a good tool. Video sharing, we all know that we can do through YouTube. We can have interactive videos, like at present the interactive video is going on, like we are talking to you and you are putting your questions at the bottom of your chat box. We host the videos, means we record the video somewhere else and we upload those on the YouTube, and we can share through the YouTube the content, even not only with the other people but in many other platforms. If you see most of the MOOC platforms don't host the video, like Swayam don't host the video. The videos are being hosted at the YouTube and we just use the URL of the YouTube in our MOOC course. Similarly, you can take a video URL from the YouTube and place it in your PowerPoint presentation. So it is also a good platform for video hosting as well as content sharing. Like this is a screenshot of my own YouTube channel. But the concern which I want to discuss here is social media safety. Actually, I want more discussion on this topic. A lot of teachers, a lot of students use social media frequently. They use WhatsApp, they create Facebook pages, they use Telegram groups, they use Signal groups and many things. But the question is, what to share and how much to share? I am giving you one example. Two teachers teaching the same topic, for example, cell division to the students, and both teachers visited YouTube and found a lot of videos on cell division. One teacher identified 10 videos, took their URL and shared those URLs into a WhatsApp group of the students, that the students please watch these videos. Another teacher first watched all the 10 videos, identified one or two important videos which are in sync with the level of the content which learners need to learn, and the teacher shared only 2 videos. Now you think learners will prefer which teacher? The teacher who is sharing 10 videos, I don't think, because the content which could be explained into a video of 15 minutes or 20 minutes, if a teacher found 10 videos of 30 minutes and sharing it to the learner, means the teacher is expecting that learner should spend 300 minutes. That is not possible for them. Not possible for them. So what we need to share, how much we need to share. As a teacher, we all must understand that before sharing any content, we should be very cautious. We should authenticate the content, whether the content is useful for the learners, whether the content is good for the learners or not. Second is the privacy settings. In social media, privacy options are multiple. If you see the YouTube privacy options, if you see the WhatsApp privacy options, or any social media, even on YouTube also a lot of privacy options are there. So generally we don't see, generally we sometimes we avoid those privacy settings, and sometimes it creates problems for you. From Facebook, people can take your pictures, people can take screenshots, and many things are possible, and they use it for other purposes, inappropriate way. So to avoid that, as a teacher, we also need to learn that how to play with the privacy settings, how to set the YouTube privacy settings, how to set the Facebook privacy settings, how to set the WhatsApp privacy settings. We all need to learn all these things. Then limit detail about work history. You know, in social media, people share a lot about their work history. Sometimes I was there, I was there, I was there, I was there. This precaution is for those who are in the job market. Even the teachers who are looking for another school, the students who are looking for another job. So what work history should be visible in your social media platform? For example, LinkedIn, which is basically a social media platform for job profiling and job search. So, and many people, when you apply somewhere, they visit your LinkedIn profile and they see that what is there, what is your past records. So what should be shared, what details should be there, what details should not be there. This is also very important for you. And before connecting to anyone, please verify with whom you are connecting with. With whom you are connecting with is very important. Because many times you will have a lot of friend requests on YouTube, on Facebook, or on other platforms, even in LinkedIn also. So whose friend request you need to accept, you should have control over it. You should not be very fond of having 5,000 friends. You may have 1,400, 500 friends, but they should be good friends. They should be your professional friends, your personal friends. At least you know those people. Because many people are fond of having connections with a lot of people to whom they never know. And in such process, sometimes they connect with the people with whom they should not. Then you see a lot of cybercrime which is happening, and one of its basic reason is that when we connect with the people, we don't verify before with whom we are connecting with. Next, keep control on comments. Be aware of impersonators. What comment should be there on your profile? what comment you should do. Both things you need to learn. What kind of comments should be visible? Like when you do on Facebook live sessions, there is an option whether only relevant comments should be visible or every comment should be visible. So sometimes people keep on commenting, which the number of comments are there, the important comments sometimes got hidden, or you cannot watch them, you cannot reply them. As a teacher, many times you interact with your learners through the comments. Either it is Facebook page or it is YouTube. Many of your students put the comment there and you respond to their comments. Similar thing, when you see the comments, you also need to learn that how there are impersonators. You need to avoid them. People who behave like someone else and they are actually someone else. This is also a very important concept of social media safety. Then, what information should be shared with outside sources? Like what information you will share in your Facebook group, and what information you will share on your Facebook page, and what information you will share on your Facebook profile. You need to learn that. Because you are using your profile, most of us use our profile basically for our personal use. Most of us use Facebook groups or Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups to connect with a limited number of people. And sometimes we have channels like in Telegram, you can have Telegram channel. To Telegram channel you can provide the information to the thousands in one go. So for what purpose, what information is to be shared with whom, that is very important. Be careful of over-friending. I have already told you that don't be fond of having 5,000 friends. Make good friends, your professional friends, your personal friends, your colleagues, at least the person with whom you love to be connected and the person with whom, if you are connected, you are getting benefited mutually. Remember, what goes online stays online. This is the fundamental safety rule in social media. If you are putting anything wrong on the slide, in your presentation, in your lecture, once it gets recorded, it is in the public domain. Suppose I am delivering a lecture here. If I will say something wrong, if I will put something wrong on my slide, the same thing will go to the public domain and it will remain in the public domain because this lecture will remain on the YouTube channel of the NCRT for longer duration. So prepare well before going online, before going on social media platform, before sharing something with the others. Verify the source. We have seen a lot of cases where people just forward the information from one group to another group and we don't verify whether this information is correct or not. So as a good citizen, before sharing the information with anyone else in any social media platform, we need to verify whether the information is authentic or not, whether the information is shareable or not. Sometimes the information may be authentic, sometimes the information may be good, but whether that information is shareable or not, whether it should be shared with all or it should be shared with very close group, you all need to learn this. When you will learn this, I think you will use social media very effectively, and I think now it is the time to take certain questions. So let us have some questions if there are.
Yes, sir. So here we would like to know that what are the benefits of using Facebook for educational purposes, sir?
Right. Facebook is a good tool. Facebook has multiple options actually. Facebook is not only sharing your face and images. Through Facebook, we can share many things with the learners, like videos we can share, like content we can share, images we can share. Facebook is also a good tool to share the information in advance. Suppose today you are having a live session at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. So you can share it with your Facebook page 2 days, 3 days in advance. Nowadays, Facebook has a very good option because streaming is possible through Facebook. So you can connect with many streaming software, whether StreamYard is there, open broadcasting software called ODS is there. If you do the broadcasting is possible through Facebook. You can connect 3-4 experts from different places. You can bring them bring all them into a broadcasting software and you can do the broadcasting through Facebook page. The best part about Facebook is that whatever you upload on the Facebook, it will remain like same as the YouTube. Once you do a live recording, the same recording will be continue with the learners at the later stage. They can watch it later. So Facebook is a very good tool, and I think it should not be taken as only for entertainment or sharing the information about what is happening in our family or with our friends. Though this is also one of the use, you remain connected with your family and near ones. But as a teacher, we should explore more. And if you see the Facebook page gives you a lot of learning analytics. Suppose if you do a Facebook live session, after session you can analyze that how many learners were there from different parts of the country. Even city-wise analysis is there. So city-wise analysis it gives you the timing also, that for up to 3 seconds how many learners were there, up to 1 minute how many learners were there, up to 5 minutes how many learners were there, up to 30 minutes how many learners were there. It gives a lot of graphics. So those graphics could be used as a teacher, by the teacher as a researcher also. That how effective using the social media is on a particular topic or in a particular session.
Right.
So a lot of uses are there, and as teacher we need to explore all these options.
Right. So teachers and students both, they need to explore the options. Here I would like to ask a question to Anubhuti ma'am. Is there any tool using which teachers get to know what is trending in education, ma'am?
Yeah, I think, that is something which, all the teachers, they should know that what is trending in the field of education and also what is trending in their own, area in which they are teaching. Say, for example, if there's certain development has happened, so they should be aware of. So there are certain tools. For example, Google Trends is something which I have just shown in my presentation. So that can be used. And the best part about the Google Trends is that it will not only tell you what is trending, it will also tell you at one particular place, say for example in India, what is trending right now, or it will also tell you in US what is trending. So you just use the keyword which you would like to have more information on, and then you can search it on maybe Google Trends. Another tool which can be used is, as I mentioned in my presentation, was Answer the Public, wherein what kind of questions people are asking. People in the newsrooms, in the field of journalism, when they had to do story, they do take into consideration what people are searching and what they are talking about. Then Twitter is one platform wherein a lot of conversation is happening, a lot of debates and discussions are happening. So there is something called TweetDeck, that's another platform which can be used to find out what is actually happening on Twitter and what is something that is being trending. And also with this, one should know how to analyze those hashtags, because hashtag is something wherein you are curating information on one particular area. So for example, hashtag maybe some conference which is happening somewhere in national capital. So you need to know the tools like Hashtagify, which tells you how this particular hashtag is doing. It also tells you one very important information, like who are the biggest influencers for this hashtag. For example, if we talk about national education policy as a hashtag, then who are these people who are tweeting a lot or posting a lot about this particular issue or on this hashtag. So these are few tools which can be used to find out what is trending on maybe different social media platforms.
And indeed, it's very useful for all the teachers and students out there. And as we are running very short of time right now, we have to wrap up this session. But thank you so very much, Anubhuti ma'am, for being with us. And thank you so very much, Gaurav sir, for being with us and for your useful information. Thank you so very much. And thank you so very much to all the viewers out there for being with us throughout this session. And let me tell you the way how you can participate in our online quiz. And let me tell you that you have to write CIET in the Google page and you will land up on this particular page. And as you can see, we have a lot of options out there like home, about us, and projects, and you have to go to the event section and then you have to go to the workshop and training section, and you will see this particular page. And Here you can see our current activity. You have to click on this particular link, online training on emerging trends in educational technology, and you will see this page, and you will get all the information regarding this particular online training session. As you can see, we will come up our tomorrow's topic would be gaming and game-based learning, and on day 5th we will have artificial intelligence education, and you will get to know about the objective of this particular online training and who can participate on this online quiz. Any one of you, whether you are student, teacher, educator, parents, administrator or general public, you can see our program schedule as well. You can see here we have uploaded our video link also, and here you can see a link out there, and you can see a QR code also. If you want to register yourself, you have to register yourself for this particular quiz. You can register yourself by clicking on this particular link, or either you can scan this particular QR code. And if you have any query and if you are getting any problem while registering yourself, you can write to us through our email address. You can write us and on training.helpdesk@cit.nic.i, and either you can make a call as well. And if you want to submit your feedback, you want to let us know about your experience, you can click on this particular link, and either you can scan this QR code as well. So dear learners and viewers, we are expecting your participation. You have to go through this particular page, and here I have to wrap up this session, but let me tell you that after a short break we will come up with our another live interactive session, that is Sahyog, where we try to provide psychosocial support to all our viewers out there, especially students, and the topic would be let's changes over perspective of results. And before I wrap up this session, let me share a very important piece of information with you all regarding NCERT textbooks. NCERT textbooks for the year 2023-24 are available throughout the country. These textbooks may be purchased directly from our sales counters located at New Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Kolkata and Guwahati. These sales counters will be functional on all the weekdays, including gazetted holidays, Saturdays and Sundays as well, from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. You may also place order for the books online through our website, that is ncertbooks.ncert.gov.in, and those books will be delivered at your doorsteps with no delivery fees. And if you want a soft copy of all those books in PDF version, it can also be downloaded online for free from NCERT Diksha e-Pathshala website and from our mobile app as well. Please visit our website, that is ncert.nic.i, and to know more about the authorized vendors. With that very important piece of information and note, me Renu Bhatt is taking your leave, but you stay tuned to eVidya channels and NCERT official YouTube channel. Namaskar.